it get started. So today's topic is factor explaining the rapid growth of China in recent decades. Factor what are the factors that explain? What are the factors that explain recent growth of China in economic? What I am saying, recent growth of China in field of economics, or can we said in the field of finance. Sorry, rapid growth from 1960 till 2023, they have been shown a rapid growth in their economic. So we are going to they cover that point. China rapid path of economic development is well documented, and even though growth rate appear to be slowing, there no doubt as a pivotal role China economy is playing in the global economy. China initially pursued an export oriented path to industrialization, similar to the Asian tiger before them, but was began to diversify into some sector of the economy in the last 10 years. It has been done with the unwavering determination to accelerate growth rates and expand to the economic reach. As a geographer, we need to understand the factor responsible economic geographers. What does geographers do? I don't know. Geographical scientist, social scientist, or humanist whose area of study is to geography. Oh, it should be as an economics. Why does he is using not he? Why they are using geographers? Let's see. I don't. Labor supply. There is a plentiful supply of workers in China with a steady stream of rural urban migrant in search of work. This is due to the mechanization of agriculture leading to unemployment and underemployment in rural areas and concurrent growth in the industrial work of in urban areas. It is estimated that 5 lakh million people will leave Chinese countryside in search of work over the next 2 decades. Voluntary migration of rural population has been accompanied by aggressive replanning scheme in which rural villages are demolished and new manufacturing settlement built at a rapid pace for former agriculture families to move into. Wages and unemployment. The unemployment rate has been falling in recent years just over 4%, but high rates in the past 12 years. If workers demand high wages, there are many more who will take the job available. Wages in other East Asian countries 10 times more than Chinese workers. This has been increased profit margin and attracted inward FDI, foreign direct investment, as European, Japanese companies open factories under license in China. Female participation in the workforce. China workforce is characterized by the higher than average female participation in the manufacturing industry. Western culture analysis women in the workforce have a little relevance in China economic growth. This, along with the one-child policy, which has meant women were involved in child raising for much shorter period than in many other countries, has made a much longer workforce available. Political system. The non-democratic and authorization political regime in China has meant that it has been possible to embrace Western style free market economic while maintaining control over the political system. In many ways, economy of China, where the state control economic activity rather than the private business, has accelerated economic growth because of the government has control all decision making. Since my 1930, the government has followed a series of 5-year plan or guidelines as they are known that reflect China transition toward the socialist market economy. Enable the government to enact any reform it feeling necessary. The country is now 12th 5-year plan. Steen and policy including spending 2.2 GDP and research and development of moving coastal region from being world factory of being hubs and R&D, top and specialist manufacturing and services. Strong leadership. Chinese politicians are said to feel a greater responsibility to a nation than themselves. Strong leadership from the head of state has a major factor of contributing economic success. Free market economics. China first began moving away from the centrally planned economic toward a market-oriented system in 1978. Deng Xiaoping was Mao's successor. He sought to be bring an end in China relative economics isolation. Export-led growth. This is a strategy. This is a strategy. China initially pursued the strategy beginning to become a phased out in favor of import substitution. Industrialization by which China consumer product imported in China growth middle class are increasing made China such as cars, domestic white goods and house and office. Okay, that's manufacture. Special economic zones and FDI. Foreign investment has been encouraged in the initial phase of economic growth. They tended to locate in one of six special economic zones or 14 open cities. Action of regulation and government controls. At a business environment, these are designated zones where TNC, transnational corporation, are offered incentives such as reduced tax rate to set up manufacture operation. An example of Taiwan's TNC UPA, which manufacture coffee machines, an open city, employed 25,000 workers. Wow. Results show private enterprises. For many years, all manufacturing in China was state owned and operated. Gradually relaxed as the economy has been restructured now. Up to 50% of business are privately owned. Since 1990, China has been developing an energy base with hydroelectric and nuclear power plant. China is now also embarking upon a massive coal-fired power system opening program based on a substantial coal reserve plus import from Australia and Indonesia. However, serious urban air pollution together with a commitment of limiting carbon emission after 2003 leading to a less vigorous expansion of electricity source. The government has built new roads, improved the rail system, and made China major rivers navigable all around. China is 5 of 10 largest container port in the world, including Shanghai and Shenzhen. Urbanization has increased with robust urban construction program. Economic diversification. China has recently started to diversify in research and development, specialist manufacturing, high-tech industry. Its investing level and capital in innovation show that it can sustain economic growth and reduce risk involved in having newer economic bases. Literacy level in China has been raised dramatically. The basically talking about the high China. China has recently started diversify into research and development. They almost put around GDP of 2.2 in the research and development and especially manufacturing and high-tech industries. Education literacy level of China has been risen dramatically over 20. Now stand at 95%. They has underpinned the economic development of a country. As a result, China has both large number of unskilled workers and growing number of high-skilled workers. For instance, China train 6 lakhs new engineer every year. Um, Going global. China has started to globalize economy by building foreign companies in North America, Europe particularly. In fact, in 2010, China invested 56 billion in outward foreign direct investment with inward FDI averaging some 16 billion per year. China had by 2015 converted its net recipient to a net investor in FDI, a marker and economic maturity in many respect. Location. China's geographical location has geopolitical significance because of its proximity to consumer market and trading partners. South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, and Hong Kong are the major trade routes. It is no coincidence that first seas were concentrated on east coast facing Taiwan and Pacific, particularly around Hong Kong. Okay, there are many features. There are many different things involved in order to growth of China. Confusion value, state and society are emphasized above the individual. State and society are emphasized above the individual. There is long history of submitting personal ambition to that community and state through confusion. The degree of control and authorization structure are more accepted China than the most Western culture with their emphasis on individual. So, population growth. Rapid population growth in China, despite in one-third child policy, has resulted in very large number of economic active population, leading to urbanization. This is fueled further industrialization alive for further population growth. As a geographer, we should categorize these factors: social, economic, environmental, political, rolling between them and consider the player and a stakeholder involved. We will then have a detailed understanding the factor that enable China to pursue the accelerated path to economic development. Okay. There's one article we are going to read. This is from this is from this is by International Monetary Fund. Let it let's zoom it out. I think it's visible. Yeah. Why is China growing so fast? The economic issue series aim to make available to abroad leadership of non-specialist. Some of the economic research being produced and international monetary fund on the topic issue. The raw material of the series drawn mainly from IMF working papers, technical paper produced by fund staff manager and visiting scholar, as well as the form policy related research papers. This material is defined for the general leadership. Why China is growing so fast? In 78, after years of strict control over productive assets, the government of China embarked on major program of economic reform in for to awaken a dormant economic giant. It encouraged the formation of rural enterprise, private businesses, liberalized foreign trade, investment, relaxed state control over some prices, invested in industrial production and education of its workforce. By nearly all accounts, strategy has been working spectacularly. While pre-1970s China has annual growth rate of about 6% a year with some painful ups and downs along the way. Post 1970 China saw average real growth of more than 9% a year with fewer and less painful up and down. In several peak years grow more than 13%. Per capita income has nearly quadrupled in 15 years. Ever predicting that the China economy will be larger than the United States in about 20 years. Such growth compares with favorably to that the Asian tigers, Hong Kong, Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, provenance of the group had an average growth rate of 7 to 8% over the last 15 years. Curious about the China has done so well. NMIF research team recently examined the sources of nation growth and arrived surprising conclusion. All the capital accumulation with growth in country stock in a capital such as new factories, manufacturing machine, communication system was important as for the number of Chinese workers sharp sustains increase in productivity. During 1979-94, productive gain accounted more than 40% in China growth, while the early 1990 overtaken capital as a most significant source of growth, and thus speaker the department of traditional view of development in which capital investment take place. The jump in productivity organized economic reform began in 1978. Okay, measuring growth. I don't want the surprising. Much previous research on economic development has suggested a significant role of capital investment in economic growth, and sizable portion in China recent growth is fact attributable to China capital investment that made country more productive. In other words, new machinery, better technology, more investment in infrastructure has helped raise output. Yet, although the capital stock grew by nearly 7% a year over 1979 to 90, the capital output ratio has been hardly worsened. In other words, despite a huge expenditure, capital production of goods and services per unit of capital remained about the same. The pronounced lack of capital deepening suggests a constrained role of capital, the labor input and abundant resources in the China also show a relative weight in economic decline. Thus, while capital formation alone accounted about 60% of the pre-1970s growth, with labor adding around 70, together they accounted about 50% in the 478 boom. A slide of the about 25% point productivity increase made with the rise. It turned out to be higher productivity has been performed in this newest economic. Okay. More in depth look. Good, bro. Ganesh from Harvard University. He has been an economist in research development. I have wrote about which is pamphlet is based. Good. I've read almost everything about why China shows rapid growth in over post 1978. Let me read conclusion for you. What does conclusion? Although China occupy a unique niche in the world political economy, a vast population and large physical size also mark it as a powerful global presence. It is still possible to look from developing countries most important while capital investment crucial to growth. It becomes even more potent with accompanied by market oriented from that combination can unleash a productivity boom that for countries with a large segment of population underemployed in agriculture. China is example of increasing growth of rural enterprise not focusing on the urban centers. China has successfully moved millions of workers off farm and factory without creating a urban crisis. Finally, China open door policy has surfaced for district investment and creating still more job and linking China's economy with international market. China's strong productivity growth surpassed 97 market oriented. That's it for the video. We have read about the how China has been grown. So okay, we'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Bye bye.